How you doing, everybody? Listen, I hope you're all well. It's Friday, it's the 19th of September, and it's around 11 o'clock in the morning. It's 2014, and I just wanted to talk to you about this ISIS crowd and this chopping off people's heads, because it seems to have a lot of people are freaked out by it and all the rest of it. So, in order to explain my little viewpoint on it, we've got to go back to the Falls Road in West Belfast, 1972-73. I'm involved in a left-wing organisation, a Republican organisation, and I'm out selling newspapers, okay, the street. And I meet a man, and the man says to me, I want to show you something. Okay, so nothing ever happened, and about 2 or 3 months later I saw the man again, and he had a file. And he showed me the file, and inside the file there was a written report. There's obviously a security file of some description. I didn't ask him how he got it, but I could see it was official security file. And inside it was a write-up, several pages, typed commentary, and several photographs, 2 in particular that I was interested in. So what I did was I took brief notes in my own handwriting of what was in the report. I'll tell you in a second what was in the report. And I made photocopies of the 2 photographs that I was interested in. It was inside this file. Now, later on here you'll see one of the photographs because I found it on the internet, but I have not been able to find the other photograph as yet, and I don't know why, but that's the way it is. The report was on the goings on, an incident that had happened, that's the only way to describe it, a massacre that took place when the Brits were in Malaya, a place called Batang. It's in the area of Selangor in Malaya. And what happened was 2 companies of infantry went into this village, seized this village, and killed everybody in it. Some say 23 people, some say 26. Okay, I think this report said it was 26. It doesn't matter. Anyway, what happened was that the 2 companies were the Royal Scots Guards and the Royal Marine Commandos. Okay. Now you'll see the photograph on down here in this thing. I'll put it up, and it shows you one of the Marine Commandos with the heads of 2 people, and that's what I wanted to tell you. What they did was they killed the people and they cut their heads off. Okay, and the whole idea being that this is to terrorise the people, obviously, because obviously the whole word would spread out all around all of the whole of that area of Malaya. These boys come in here, they killed. They never found, by the way, any guns or anything. It was nothing. This was just a peaceful, complete. That's what they do. They just basically butchered these people, massacred them. For obviously it was done on control. I mean, they had to get. They just don't run. This is the elite #1 regiment in the British Army stroke Navy. Because you must remember they're naval soldiers. These boys are the very first regiment that Britain ever had, was the Royal Marine Commandos. So they consider themselves to be the super elite, way above all the powers and all that shadeology and all that. These are the elite. Like when an officer in the Royal Marine Commandos says do something, it's done. Okay, that's the way these boys done. So obviously they didn't do it off their own volition. This was ordered. Okay, it's part of a policy. But the end of the policy was when it was all done and they'd killed the people, they beheaded them, and obviously they didn't put the heads in the bags and take them home. They couldn't do that. But there were photographs taken. As I say, I've only found one of the photographs, but the other photograph was officers, non-commissioned officers and men of both companies standing in the little clearing the next day in the village, and all the heads were at their feet. A big mound of heads were at their feet. Okay, so what happened was, about 2 or 3 weeks later, I wrote up the article in my newspaper, and I told them this was quite common, and you know, this was quite common behaviour for the Brits to do, and and I went back to obviously their behaviour in Ireland and in the earlier centuries, and then I quoted this business about what they'd done in Malaya in 1948. It was 1948 this massacre happened. All right, you can see it on the internet. Go on the internet and Google it. I'll tell you, write it up here, and you can say Batankali. Google it, and you'll find out all about it. Anyway, what happened was, there was a change of regiments in the city centre of Belfast, and up until that time, I think it had been somebody like, I don't know who it was, probably a non-infantry regiment. Doesn't matter. All of a sudden, there are Marine commandos looking after the city centre of Belfast, and they started arresting me right, left and centre. So they arrested me and arrested me and arrested me, and then they got wind of this, me having these photographs, and then one day they arrested me, took me to Palace Barracks, held me for 3 days, gave me over to RUC, and all I wanted was, that's all I wanted to know, who gave you the photographs, and where are the photographs now? That's all we want to know. Not interested in you. We know all about you, right? Because like, I'm an open book. I don't make any. I have no secrets, and nobody can ever blackmail me or anything. I'm just what you see. Okay. So anyway, that was the bottom line, and they stopped me in the pokey. And having information likely to be of use to terrorists. So I got stuck in a pokey up on a Crumlin Road. Okay. So and they went berserk. They wrecked my house. Went down and wrecked my house. Spent 6 or 7 hours, and 8 hours, tearing it apart, looking for these photographs. All that sort of stuff. I was young, only a young fella then. I was married, and there was a couple of kids, and all this stuff was going on. Dreadful sort of stuff. Anyway, it was only Mickey Mouse. At least they didn't kill me and cut my head off. Okay. But that's the story. So, what's that got to do with ISIS? ISIS were formed a few years back. Like all these, this is all these CIA sickos in the CIA and British military intelligence. They form these. They get other people. They get black ops crowd. These are commercial armies to do their dirty work, and to send them in and to train these psychopaths. These are both psychopaths. These fucking jihadis. They're madmen, right? But they're madmen. They're not madmen once they're under American CIA and British control. Do you understand? They're not madmen then. It's only when they lose control that they get. Like Osama bin Laden. When he was working for the Americans, when he was the American agent, when he was the American proxy agent, he was wonderful. He was Mr. Wonderful. He drove the Soviets out of Afghanistan. Then he turned against the Americans. So similarly with ISIS, ISIS was formed, black ops, CIA, black ops, a load of money, drug money funneled into it, British intelligence in it. And part of the whole ethos of all this business is this historical baggage that the British Army carries with it. All right? For their combat units, not for the friggin' REME, not for them, or the signals or anything. I'm talking about combat units. These madmen are the paratroopers, and madmen are these Marine commandos. All mad, they're all psychopaths. They're all semi-psychopaths, these fellas, right? Trophies of war, they're called. Give an example, another example, very, very quickly. In the 50s, engaged in Kenya. And over the whole campaign in Kenya, just listen to this, 32 Anglo-British plantation owners were killed by the Mau Mau. That was a guerrilla organisation like the IRA, Mau Mau, you know, okay? And the Mau Mau recruited mainly from one tribe called the Kikuyu. Fierce warriors they were. And what the big thing for the Brits to do then, okay, was when they killed them, sometimes they didn't kill them. Sometimes they did it, they just did it on the spot. They cut their genitalia off. The men's genitalia off, and put them in the little jars. Now, I never got those photographs. I wanted those photographs real bad, but I couldn't get those photographs. But it doesn't matter. So that's the way the cookie crumbles. And they were called war trophies. And that's been a tradition right up to the day when they came the Iron Forced, that decapitated, hung around and quartered you, right? Cut your legs, cut your arms off, disembowel you, cut your head off, and they put your head on a peg. Normally I'd say Dublin Castle. But if you were an arch hero, an arch enemy, like a really serious enemy, they take you and take you to Target, or one of the entrances to the Tower in London, stick you up there, so that all the pundits can see it. All right. So that's the story with that. So that's the ISIS thing. So don't be too freaked out when you see it on the TV. Oh, because it has a historical tradition through the British. They've done it numerous times. I'm going to put a list up of the wars that the British have fought since 1948. Sorry, 45, at the end of the war. I'm going to put a list of them up. You see, it's unbelievable. Anyway, that's all. So ISIS is not an unusual thing, and as I say, it's historically given down from the Brits. They initiated all that stuff. They're masters at that. War trophies. We'll talk more